Hello, everyone. And today I want to invite you to our catalyst meditation. And I want to explain a little bit to you about what that is and see if you're interested. We've been doing the catalyst meditation since August of last year. And it's been getting more interest and more interesting as we've been going along. So I'm going to give you a little bit about what we've been doing and what our intention is. The intention is very different from other meditations, and walk you through the steps of it and see if you're interested. The Catalyst meditation, the purpose of it is to get us beyond our thinking that consciousness is something that happens inside of a human head, a human brain. And our challenge is this is an old way of thinking about things, and it's time for us to elevate our thinking to another level. Um, to get beyond what I call solon thinking, that I'm a sole individual that is one being and can't be divided, etc., and get us into what I call holonic thinking, to think that I am a holon. I'm here, but I'm part of lots and lots and lots of other beings. And when we become conscious of those connections, we begin to see some things happening that are different from what we are used to. Um, to get to Once we start uniting with all other beings, we can start seeing the world and impacting the world in a completely different way. This is going to be the beginning of a whole new way for human beings to interact with each other, to interact with all other living beings, and to change our direction on this planet from life destroying to life affirming. Okay, so by doing this, the meditation is for us to become conscious of all living beings. That consciousness begins with the 10 trillion beings that are living inside and on your body, my body, each of our bodies. We're made up primarily of other living beings. We are a colony. Most of the time, we don't act like it. Most of the time, we don't acknowledge that our lives depend on all these other beings. Most of the time, we don't act like we are one, and we are. Um, this is something that I'm calling a meta being. So I'm Sharif, I'm sitting right here, but as I'm sitting right here, I am a meta being of 10 trillion other beings that live inside this body. I'm also one with all the beings that live around me. If I don't believe that, I don't act like it, and I then start destroying other beings because I don't care, or I'm not thinking about it, or I'm being ignorant, or I'm being destructive. What happens when we meditate together with beings that are as conscious as we are, maybe even more conscious than we are? Um, what happens when we learn not to block our um, connections with all other beings? What happens when we lay the groundwork for humans to become one being, one species on this one planet? If you look at how humans act in the world, we don't act like we're one being. We the the majority of our time we spend on this planet separating from other human beings, trying to kill other human beings, trying to control other beings, trying to own other human beings. It's time for us to change that. And the catalyst meditation is our first step in changing that. Um, so we're trying to awaken a new kind of consciousness on the planet. Um, we've been uh, doing this in order to awaken something that we call the five latent powers. Now, the five latent powers are the powers that many of us believe human beings had millennia ago. We had the powers to be in more than one place at one time. We had the powers to um, cut and move the stones of the Great Pyramid using a technology that nobody knows how we did it or when we did it. We know that all of the narratives we've heard in the past about that are false. We know that we can't do it right now. We lack the ability to do that. And those of us who are practicing with the catalyst meditation, are opening the door for that to happen again, for us to be able to have the abilities that we used to have. One of those abilities is being in connection with and in deep reverence for the earth and for all other beings. So let me walk you through the structure of the catalyst meditation. It generally takes about 20 minutes or so. It's not long, it's not deeply involved, etc. Um, so the first thing we do is say welcome, and we welcome those who have been with us before, those who are new to our meditation. We also welcome those who have been with us but can't make it that particular day. Um, we then center ourselves on ourselves, on myself as an individual, myself as a colony of 10 trillion other beings, myself as part of several different levels and kinds of community. And that community goes out to finally encompass all living beings on our planet. We then set some intentions that I intend to act in the world for myself, but I intend to act as a representative for all life. Um, and once we set these intentions, we then call on the energies of all life, all beings who are part of our planet, regardless of the kinds of forms they may have, doesn't stop them from having consciousness. Once we acknowledge all other beings, we then consciously blend our energies. We blend our energies in such a way that all of us can share the power to make the changes on our planet that will be good for me, good for us, good for all human beings, and good for all other living beings. Once we do that, we set some declarations. And by declarations, we make statements of the kind of future we want to live in, the kind of world we want to live in, not just for Americans, not just for human beings, but the kind of world we want to live in that is a world that works for all living beings. At that point, once we've set our declarations, we then go into our meditation in silence, holding the energy that we are meditating with all other living beings. Once the meditation is done, we do something that I call the inclusivity mantra, and the inclusivity mantra is a statement that may all beings be well, may all beings be secure, and may all beings be happy. Um, At that point, I say thank you very much, and that's the end of the meditation. Um, we generally stick around for some period of time if you want to talk about current issues that are coming up, questions, comments, or thoughts that people may have, etc. Um, Many people are joining us from their workplace, which means as soon as the meditation is over, they got to go back to work. Um, and for these weekly meditations, we've been experimenting with a pre-meditation talk, and that's on various subjects that come up as a part of our work in creating a world that works for all. And I have that as something that I would invite you to. But the pre-meditation talk isn't necessary. The post-meditation informal dialogue isn't necessary. It's the core element of the catalyst meditation that's really important. It's something I invite you to. I invite you to experience the meditation yourself. There will be instructions on how to participate in the meditation that are pinned to this video here. One way or another, I hope to see you there, and I hope that we can find a way that for all of us on this planet to strike out a new path, a path that leads to a world that works for all living beings. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you at some point in time. Thanks. Bye.